Psalms 28:3. Draw me not away with the wicked, and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Give them according to their deeds, and according to their wickedness of their endeavors. Give them after the work of their hands. Render to them their desert. You know, hey, that's what we hoping for, you know, that the Most High, you know, tear Esau down and basically give Esau what he's looking for, because he always screaming, you know, that he's got all this military might. You know what I'm saying? I saw a video, I think it was yesterday. I think it was, I don't know if he was a U.S. colonel or sergeant, but basically making this bold, you know, basically really a threat to all these other superpowers, you know, Iran and Russia, Japan, China, and whatnot, talking about that U.S. basically has the strongest military and that nobody can come against them. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, he talking that bold talk, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get what he asking for soon enough, you know?
Hey, can you repeat that again? Because yeah, I got a scripture for it. No, what you just said.
Oh God, just you know, with the fact that, you know, Esau, I mean, when, you know, going back with the U.S. colonel, you know, he was saying that, you know, basically nobody, you know, I'm gonna say clean, nobody can mess with America, you know, talking about their military might, you know, they tanks and they fighter jet planes and all this, and that they got the best training, you know, and all this, you know, putting these words out against Russia and China and Japan or whatnot. Basically letting them know, you know, not to mess with them, you know.
Who would like the beast? Who can make war with it?
That's Revelations 13:4. And they worshiped the dragon which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with it? You know, and that's talking about NATO. And that's talking about NATO, because he was I believe I watched the video as well. When the guy was speaking, he was talking about all the accomplishments of the American military and what they've done, and how the Russians and these other nations, they studied their tactics, and they had to revise them. Well, they revised them and they made them even better than what you are. So now they're 50 years ahead of you. You know? Well, what's that one nuclear missile that Russia has?
Satan Point 2.
The one that's like a stealth missile, and no weapon defense technology can penetrate it, man.
So that made Russia's nuclear missile systems the golden standards of all nuclear capabilities.
That's the reason why this scripture is coming to pass right here. Because remember, it said, who is like unto the beast, who can make war with it. That was talking about NATO. You know, that was talking about the North Atlantic Treaty, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, which America is a part of. They're like the military might of NATO. So at the time, back then, nobody could make war with it. America had that nuclear weapon technology, the atomic bomb, and at the time, nobody had that same technology. But now countries have that technology. So now America is become weaker. This is Isaiah 14:16. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, and did it shake the kingdoms? That made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities, therefore, that opened not the houses of the prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou art cast out of thy grave. That's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, that's it.
Right, but basically the most, basically, you know, America is that, because put it like this, is anybody saying, you know, who can make war with the Chinese? You know, who can make war with the Japanese? You know, who can make war with, you know, with Canada? Who can make war with Brazil? You know, it's NATO. You know, that's who, you know, this beast is. You know it. It's 7 heads, 10 horns. That's this beast, that John saw, in his vision. He saw, the harlot, he saw a harlot, because when you see, let's say, when you see a harlot, normally a harlot is going to be direct decked in a regular harlot's attire. Booty shorts, stuff like that. She's gonna have, a woman's, basically a whole uniform. He said, this harlot was dressed with decked out gold and silver. I ain't never seen a harlot like this. And so when you see a harlot like that, you gotta think, how the fuck this bitch must have been fucking everybody to get shit like that. Right, right. Put it like this. You got, you got like what's that? You got, your low end back page $30, $40 hoes. And then you got right, the Corey Holcomb $80 specials. And then you got the your super heads. Like they realize they have fucked, celebrities and get houses instead of fucking this for fucking rent. And so this hoe, she fucked, she committed fornication with so many kings. So fornication, through the abominations in her cup, so this is how she got all those riches and gold. So he was one like, damn, how the fuck this hoe get all these riches? You still got some, Anna?
Yeah, he got some.
Let me grab this, because I should have read verse 10. It's Isaiah 14:10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? That's what the nations are saying, because they have nuclear technology now.
You got that.
So NATO ain't strong like that.
And this is a whole new ball game when when the rapper got the gun. You come in with a whole different negotiate. You negotiate with a gun on the table. So they got to because it says they actually NATO's going to turn on the whore. The so-called harlot, and that's going to happen, and it's happening now, but it's going to eventually happen in all those NATO nations when it's still shoot missiles on, America. All those European Union nations.
Revelations 18:6, we reward her even as she rewarded you, double unto her, double according to her works. In the cup which she had filled her double.
Read the next verse too.
How much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow she give her. For she said in her heart, I sit a queen, and I am a widow, and shall see no sorrow.
And that's talking about America. The word America is a feminine word. The masculine way to say America would be Americo, because America, it was named after Italian map maker Americo Vespucci, but they termed it America. Throughout the scriptures, whenever they talked about a land, they spoke about the land in a feminine sense, as if it was a woman. So that's the reason why they termed America, which is a feminine sense. America is executing dominionship and rulership over the whole earth. That's the reason why Revelations, the 18th chapter, says that she said in her heart, I sitteth as a queen,
Let me get on World War III.
Which before the brother grabbed that, which the brother read Revelations, the 18th chapter. Revelations, the 18th chapter follows Revelations, the 17th chapter, which actually talks about the whore. Now, when you read Revelations 17 and 18, it's not saying that the whore is an international religious, a false international religious church system. Revelation 17 and 18 says that the whore that thou seest is a city, which that city is talking about America. And the way that she became all decked out with all of the precious stones and the jewelry and the beautiful luxurious garments that she had is by what? When she came here in when they came here in 1492 on upward, they came here and they fought against the Native Americans. They took all of their riches. They took their lands. And then after that, they brought the Negroes over here to, in cargo slave ship, which the Negroes consist of the Haitians, the Jamaicans, and the so-called Negro in America. So they brought them over here and they brought them into slavery, and these bastards got filthy rich off having us in slavery. But it began with taking the land of the Native American Indians. So that's how the devil got rich, man. And it was able to have those precious stones and those luxurious garments. Yeah, Issachar is included in the Native Americans and Latinos.
This is Obadiah chapter 1. I'm going to start at 12. It says, "But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother in the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction. Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have entered into the gate of thy people, of my people, in the day of their calamity. Yea, thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. Neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that escaped. Neither shouldest thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the day of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee.
That's right.
Thy reward shall return upon thine own head. For as ye have drunk upon my holy mountain, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they had not been."
Because the Most High he's about to take down those that execute dominion in the earth, which is the so-called white man. And all of these other nations that are set up, because all of these other nations have an inheritance in this world, and they're doing good for themselves. The only ones that's not doing good for themselves is the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans over here in America. But all of these other nations are doing good, and you know why? It goes back to Psalms, the 83rd chapter.
Verse 17, "But upon Mount Zion shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness, and the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain, the Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Gilead. And the captivity of this host of the children of Israel shall possess that of the Canaanites, even unto Zarephath. The captivity of Jerusalem, which is in Sepharad, shall possess the cities of the south." You want me to read the last verse?
Basically, you know, we're going to take the kingdom back, you know, so that those lands that's, you know, spoken about is going to be us, you know. So, and it says, you know, let's say Joseph be a flame.
Yeah. Read that again.
Yeah, kind of.
Obadiah verse.
What exactly is behind it?
18. It says, "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame." Obadiah 1 and 18. "And the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau for stubble. And they shall kindle in them and devour them. And there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken."
Right, so basically, you know, it's going to be a wrap for Esau, because like Romans 9 and 13 says, "Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated." You know, it hates Esau so much that he promised to exterminate his entire fucking race. You know, but not before you serve that fucking slavery, though. You gonna have to work.
This is Isaiah 47 and 6. "I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand. Thou didst show them no mercy, upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke."
Right, so the Most High was only mad at us for so long. You know, Esau, you basically furthered the affliction. You know, you actually took it, you know, a whole nother step further. You know, so the Most High, you know, was not pleased, you know, with you know, your actions.
This is Exodus 21:16, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death.
Right, that's according to the law, you know, so we're going to execute the law. Because the scripture says, you know, we're going to have the law in our inward part, you know, so that's going to be, you know, second nature. You know, it's going to be like, oh, boom. You know, you got to be put to death for that. You know, just like, you know, how I was saying, you know what, when I was younger, you know, we used to beat this crack ass for no reason. We didn't know why. You know what? We gonna know why, but we all gonna get your ass worse than that. You know, it's gonna be like within us. You know what? Same way it was. You know, back in mine. You know, other Jakes around me, our hearts just whooped this cracker ass. It's and just like it was in that Turner heart. You know, the Most High said, you know what? It's time to kill some of these crackers. Now you grab yours as last one on that one.
To what?
Then we get to World War III.
Jeremiah 49:8. Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, all inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring calamity of Esau upon him. The time that I will visit him. If the great gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some grapes, some gleaning grapes?
So-called white man steals everything, you know, even to his own detriment. You know, he might take, it might take him, $40,000 to get 1 penny. He gonna try to take it and steal it. He don't want you to have shit.
Because hey, you can have a bank account. Let's say, for instance, you bank with Bank of America, and they have something where you have an annual fee that you have to pay if you use the debit.